Let's start with IDD. So now what we'll do is I'll do it this way. IDD, I'll just explain in brief today, and tomorrow we'll have session on IDD, because IDD is divided into two parts. Okay, so first part we'll cover today, and I'll give you some ample time so that you understand it. Then tomorrow we'll cover the things. So IDD is divided into two parts. One is the user part, and another one is the developer part. So user part and developer part. In the sense, let's say if I go to Amazon.com, right? Then what I can do here is I'm a user now. So for Amazon, I'm a user. So I can go here, let's say I select this thing and select that order rate. I can do a lot of things. Okay. So that is about the user part. Okay. Now I have developer part. Developer part in the sense like how to design this one. So how, let's say if I want to change this to 32 GB instead of 64, I want to change this to 32 GB. So how can I do that? And those kind of things, right? Now, let's say in Amazon, you are only a user. You are not supposed, you can't do this. Who can do that? The developers who are working, they can do it, right? Similarly, in IDD also, we have two things: user part, developer part. Your responsibility is actually the developer part. To design the application, that's your responsibility, not to use it, because to use it we have other things. Okay, now, right? So but to develop, if you want to develop something, you should know what you are going to develop, because if you have no idea, uh, if you have never seen this website and someone is asking, can you create this website, you can't, right? You cannot do that. So first let's try to see this one. So from user point of view, how IDD is used and all that, then we'll see how to develop it. Okay, now IDD is available at this link, that is, so this link, okay, CMX link, this link, right? Now then I have two things here. User part is there in BDD, and then I have BDD config. Okay, I'm going to send a chat message with these two link. This is also there in the VPN login details txt. Okay, so this link we'll try to explore today. Go here, sorry. Okay, user ID password is always same as the hub console user ID password. There's no different user ID password here, right? And I can see many applications here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can see 5 different applications here, right? So let's say if this is like France, this is Germany, this is Paris, I mean this is like, let's say, New Zealand, this is Australia, this is India. So if you go to India, then you will still see the land. If you go to Germany, you will still see the land, but there will be a lot of difference. The house and all those things will be different. So that's what this is. This is one IDD application. This is another IDD application. This is another. This is another. All of them are created. I mean, someone has created these applications. Okay. Your responsibility will be to create this application. So you have 5 applications. You're supposed to create your own application. That's what your responsibility will be. But as of now, let's explore the MDM sample. Okay. MDM sample. So as soon as I click on MDM sample, then this is the main page of IDD, the home page of IDD, where you can see I have different things. I have create, create master data, then queries. Three different tabs I have. Okay, then right. So basically the IDD is divided into two things. You can neglect this one. I'll tell you what is this later. Just concentrate on these two things. This one, this one. Create in data view, queries. Right. So in create in data view, what you can do is you can create a customer or a product in case of a product MDM. Right. And in queries, you can query the data. So what is IDD? Now again coming to the point, what is IDD? See, one thing is clear. In your base objects, you have data, master data, then new data, all those things, right? Now let's say that you are a technical user, developer. You want to view the data. What you will do? You'll go to the database and you will view that, right? Let's say you are a business user. If you are a business user, you can't go to the database and view that. You need a different interface, a different tool where you can view the data and do something. So if I go here, I have data manager, merge manager, hierarchy manager. What do we do in the data manager? We unmerge the records. Merge manager, we merge the records, right? Or we accept them as unique. Hierarchy manager, we create the hierarchy or we view the hierarchy. Okay. Now you will see that whatever we have in this data steward, so whatever we are having here, that is this. Let me change the color. So whatever we have here, 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 all these three things, basically IDD revolves around these three things only. But some other things are also there. But mostly you can see that IDD revolves around these three things. So you might have a question like, I mean, why do you, why Informatica is copy pasted the functionality? Why can't the business users just log in here and use it? There's a difference. So the data manager feature that is there in IDD, that's different from this. Let's try to understand. Let's say that I'm a business user. So since I'm a business user, I want to unmerge the records or create a new customer, or see, there are basically it's divided into two things: creating a record, updating a record, and then you have merge the records, unmerge the records, all those things. So let's say if I'm a technical user, sorry, let's say business user. So double click this. Let's say I was given this file and I double clicked it and say run. Right. So first thing it is asking me is user ID, password. Enter. Right. Now I have a problem. The problem is, if I'm a business user, do I need to worry about what is a master database, what's a ORS database? Why would I? I will not. You understand, right? If I'm a business user, I really I don't need to worry. I don't even want to understand that there is something called as ORS, something called as master database. If I'm a business user, all that I understand is I have a MDM and the customer information is there. I just want to read it. So that's the first problem with this tool, that you need to choose the ORS. To understand that, you should have knowledge on what is ORS. Let's say that the business has done it. They've chosen the ORS. Then again, they can see a lot of things, configuration, modal, all those things. So that's not relevant to them. Now let's say that the guy is slightly technical also. Let's say if he goes to data manager. When he goes to data manager, right, and he wants to create a customer, he wants to create a customer, he cannot create a customer here. You understand? He can create a record in party table. You understand, right? Customer means what? Customer means the name, the address, the contact details, everything. All his details. That's what a customer is. Okay. So here, if I'm a business user, I need to know the base object name. Why would I take the headache of understanding that my data is stored in this base object, all that? As a business guy, I don't care where my data is stored. For example, in Amazon website also, let's say that do I need to worry where this thing is stored? Do I need to worry? I should not. I don't need to worry if where this speaker is stored, right? So similarly here also, as a business user, I should not worry about this. And let's say if I choose this, then again I have to choose a package. So why would I choose a package? What is a package? I don't know anything, right? But still, let's say that I've chosen it, say this, finish. Now when I want to create a record plus, this is technical. I mean, you see here, what will happen if I give these details and say okay? A record will be created in the party table. That's what will happen. Now I want to create the address also. What I need to do? To create the address of this guy, you again go to the data manager and choose the address now, address, and again do it. And to create a contact, again go here and do it. That's a headache, right? But you will see that all these features are there in the IDD, but with a different style. Okay, the style is, see here. Let's say if I log out. Okay, I was given this link. I got this link from the developers. So I'm a business person. Let's say I logged in. When I logged in, you also don't need to choose the application here, right? For example, see, if you type BDD, then I'll show you. I will give this link to the business. See here, I will directly go here and give this link. So this link will directly open this application, MDM sample. You can see here, MDM sample. Click on that directly. That you don't even need to choose the application. You don't need to know what is an application. That's not your headache. Okay. Now I want to create a customer. The way I have done it here using data manager, I want to create a customer. Go here, create master data, customer, person. Now interesting thing, just see here. When I want to create a customer, it is asking me to choose person or organization. Now that is functional. So this is more about business. From business point of view, this is important, right? Here, it really does not care if it's a person, organization, nothing. Doesn't care. First difference. And second thing is, did you see anywhere, did it ask me the ORS to choose the ORS name? No. Did you see the base object name or the package name here? Nothing. I just logged in, directly went and created a customer. And I just need to fill this form. So Sunil, you fill the form, all these details, right? And if you want to, you can see here, if I want to give the phone number of this guy plus the address of this guy I want to add it, I can do that here. In a single operation, I can um, add the phone number, everything. Here in the tool, you have to do it multiple times, right? So I do all that, and once I do, I say okay, apply, then save it. Now see here, when I'm saving it, the business guy has no idea which table this is getting stored because he does not needs to know. All what he needs to know is, okay, my information is stored somewhere in a secure place. That's it. Okay. But so but see, one thing is clear. If this information will be stored somewhere, isn't it? So where it will be stored? It will be stored in the party table. How do I know? Because I know this application. You will also know this. See here, if you go here, then MDM sample, let's say. So that's your responsibility to configure the table where it will be stored. If I go here and if I say customer person, you see here, see, this is stored in primary object is C underscore party. Can you read that in the box? Primary object at the end, C underscore party. So whatever changes you're going to do will be stored in C party. Let's say if you add address, it will be stored in C underscore address table. That's something that I have configured. Business will never know, right? But you will be configuring that, right? Now, if I say save and if I log into the database, I think it was timed out. So I need to do that again. Okay, let me log into a sample. Okay, it's Altaf Syed is there. What I'll do is now I will go and create a customer. Let's say person, just say Sunil and apply and save it. Say okay. Then go here. You will see this customer here. See here 828 and here I go Sunil. Okay, Sunil. Right, how to relate that we'll see later. Maybe tomorrow we'll see that how to create this application, how to relate this with a table. Right, let's go back now. Okay, so that is about creating a customer. You can create a customer, you can create a personal organization, you can create products, all those things, right? So this tab is about creating a customer. You can later try that at home, right? And then you have queries. Okay, so this is about viewing the customer, editing it. So let's say there are thousands of customer. There's a person called as, let's say, Linda. I want to see the details of Linda Smith, or let's say Linda, let's say, right? So that's what this queries is for. Queries, and let's assume that this is not there. There is no default query, because if default query is there, I can directly use it. By default, there will not be any default query. Okay, let's say there is no query, right? Search form. So you go here and create your own query. Go here, say new standard. Here, new standard. Then customer. Let's say I want to query a person. Go here and I want to query the person using the display name. Okay. So using the display name, say okay. So I can just run an empty search. This is an empty search. So I'm fetching all the customers, or star is also not necessary. Same thing. Now let's say I want to query a person with the name of Linda Star. So here I go. Linda McLean, Linda McLean, Linda Larry McLean. Three customers. I'm getting three customers. Right? So that's how you create a query. New standard. Right? And you have something called as new advanced also. New advanced. So advanced in the sense, so you are going to write the query. So go here. Let's say where uh, your display name. You can also use like operator, like let's say Linda, All right. So say okay. You can also write multiple conditions. You can do that and say run a search. Same result, right? So you have standard searching, you have advanced searching. Normally what will happen is the business users, if you a query will be saved like this. So you can create a query like this, let's say standard, and then customer, let's say display name. Okay, what you can do here is you can say save as public query, make this my default query. So search search by display name, right? Save it. Now other users, they will be able to see this query. So when you go here, remove that queries. Okay, this is my default query. I made it default, so that's why you're getting that, right? Now let's say remove that, right? So run a search. Now you, let's say, let's talk about Linda, right? Open it. You got it, right? Select anyone, then open it. So that opens the details of this customer called as Linda McLean. So Linda McLean, phone number of Linda, email address if there is any, then address of Linda, okay, this LGL, Oak, Deland, right? Then you see something called as potential matches. This is manual merge. If a record is queued for manual merge, then only you will see these potential matches. You understand? You will not see this always. For example, see here, if I go here and let's search for something different record, you will not see the potential matches column. So let's say Simon. Okay, so for Simon also potential matches is there. Let's say Sadie Flowers. Yeah, do you see potential matches here? You don't see that, right? Potential matches is not enabled. Okay, so that will only be enabled if you have the record in the match table. So in the match table, you have customers. Only for this, if you query this customer, then you will see the potential matches. So what you can do here, you can go to the potential matches. You can go to the potential matches, and if you want to merge the records, you can go here, select this, and you can either compare them and merge it, or you can directly merge it. If I merge it, that is manual merge. How do I do it using this tool? I do it using merge manager, right? Here, using this you need to do. So let's say compare, right? You select this. Now if you merge these two records, the blue one will be the survivor. So here Linda McLean, here Larry is the survivor and all that, right? If you want to merge it, go here and let's say merge it. Now this record is merged. Merging is happening. Okay. How can I see if merging is done or not? Go to the cross reference. See here. Can you see this? You see two cross references. Larry McLean, McLean. Right? Now if you want to unmerge, right click, unmerge, cross reference. Now the record is unmerged. So you have seen how to do an unmerge, how to do a merge, how to do an unmerge. See, identity is very simple. You have data view, you have cross-reference view, you have the history information, if history is enabled, which is mandatory for IDD, and then you have effective period, that is dynamic timeline. This is nothing but SCD type 2. Okay, if you have multiple versions of a particular address and all that, then you can see that here, right? Then you have matches where you can add the merged candidates, and let's say I want to compare Henry. Sorry. So I want to compare McLean with Campbell. Okay, Linda McLean with Henry Campbell. So I can also see which, if I try to merge these two, then what will be the survivor? The survivor is Linda. Why? Because the trust is more. If I want to merge that, I can go here and merge it. Does not make any sense, but you can still do that. Okay. So, right. So queries, then you can also view the hierarchy. Okay. So hierarchy of this guy, if you want to view it, go here. So this is the hierarchy. So this guy is reporting to Ruby Sayed household. That's the hierarchy of this customer. Okay. And then you have something called as entity view. Entity view is nothing but it's the same thing only, same as your data view. There are two things. There is something called as data view. There is something called as entity view. Okay, entity view is a new concept in 10.0.10.1. The only thing is this is graphically a bit better. Okay, so for example, if I go and open this one, let's say entity view, then you can customize this. You can change it. Okay, um, you need to work on this and change the structure and all that. Then this would look different. Okay, but let's concentrate on the data view, which is most widely used, right? So what you can do in identity, you can create customer, you can update a customer, you can merge, unmerge, those kind of things. What you do is after the session is done, you go through this link and try to create a customer and check that in the uh, database, and also try to merge, unmerge the records, right? That's the user part. So once you're clear, then tomorrow we'll go through the developer part. Okay, developer part, I'll tell you how to configure this application, how to create and configure. That will tell you tomorrow. But what we'll do today is some other small topic we'll cover maybe. Yeah, so let's talk about logging, right? So MDM logging. See, if you face any issues, normally if the job fails or something, then you have the data, you have the batch viewer. In the batch viewer, you can see the logs here. If something got failed, then you will see a window, small window, where you can see the information about the failed records and all that, right? You can see that. But sometimes, let's say this information is not sufficient. If this information is not sufficient, then only you need to go to the advanced loggings. So what you need to do there? So then what you need to do here is you have these types of log. You have application server log. You have cleanse match server logs. Then you have hub server logs. Then in older versions, you had database logs. Now database logs it's demoted. So in new version, especially after 9.6.1, there is no concept of database logging, right? So you can just say that we have three different logs. Application server log is the most important log because you will see all information here. This is related to cleanse match server. This is related to hub server. You will see that normally this contains already this and this. So normally application server is very important, and that's the only log. If you go through application server log, that is enough. Okay, but for this is Informatica's recommendation for load, merge, unmerge. You go through these logs. For SIF and IDD, if there are any issues, you check this one, and this one you can always check. This is located in the server, so I'll show you where these logs are located typically. Uh, Okay, on the server side, this first log is the application server log. So this will be located on the application server, which is nothing but JBoss in my case. So EAP640 JBoss and standalone. So I have EAP standalone, then logs, then this is my log, server.log. These are archived logs and I will remove that. It's not necessary. Okay, there is some problem with the server. I cannot select this. But what you do is to access this log file, you go through this link, this IP address. Then you can have application server logs, cleanse match, hub server log. So cleanse logs. Just give me 1 minute, I'll be back. Okay, so server log, this is your application server log. Open that. Okay, the first important information about this log is this is a generic common log. So you will see that if you run the party job or the address job or the contact job, everything is logged in a common log file. So this log file is a common log file. Okay, so if you want to find your job, you search for that and find your job. So let's say if you start a job, let's say if I go and start this one, execute. So lu state, refresh. Okay, then just say yes. See here, the job will be started here somewhere. You can see the logs. So here I go, lu state, and you can see everything, that is all the things step by step you can see here. So you can see the landing table name, PRL table name used, and then the queries that are used in the backend. Normally you don't need to understand these queries, but if you face any issues, then you need to go and check step by step that okay, these are all the queries. Some query got failed, so why, reason, and all those things. Okay, you can go through this. You run a job the way I have done it, and then you check the logs and try to understand what is happening. You can see here that it is dropping the index and then creating again. Okay, right. Similarly, I have two other logs. First, let me show you where it is located in the server. The second log is cleanse match server log, and that is located here in the server. The InfoMDM hub cleanse logs, and this is the log file. And similarly, I have the hub server log, that is server logs, and it's located here. So if I open it from here, this is my cleanse server log. So open that. Okay, so this is my cleanse match server log. You can see that you will see more details on the load, merge, unmerge. If you're doing load, merge, or unmerge, you will see a lot of information here. But normally, as per my experience, so if you just access the application server log file, that is more than enough. You don't need to go through cleanse match server and hub server. Okay, so you go through anyway, you go through this all these three log files and try to understand, because sometimes uh, it will be very important and very useful to go through these log files, right? So what you do after this session is you go through the IDD link that I have shared and try to do whatever things I have done. Then tomorrow I'll tell you how to create an application. So that's the most important part, creating the application. Okay. So I think we'll finish the session bit early today, right? If you have any doubts, you can ask. Yeah, the question is in IDD, if a customer is updated, then definitely the change will happen in the base object. That's correct. So is it possible that the change can also happen in the source systems? By default, no. So change will only happen in the base object. But if you want to change the source system, you can write a user exit. So if you write a user exit program, then you can, yes, you can do that. But by default, it won't change its source data. It will only change the base object. Okay, so you go through that. Then tomorrow we'll see the how to create the application. Okay, right, guys. Then I'll finish the session. Thanks. Yeah, Naresh.
Sunil, just one question.
Yeah, Naresh.
Can you please share the software also, MDM software?
MDM software you need for installation. I will share the old version. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay. Okay. Fine.
Yeah, and then if you have any video of installing, please share that one also along
Okay.
with that.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Fine. Okay.
Yeah, thanks. Sunil.
Thanks.